Hello there, people of the internet. My name is Jagero, and this is Dialogues with Jagero. I am with Dr. Daniel Katambo. We are doing a limited series called Reducing Your Diet the Teaspoon Way. And I am loving it, enjoying it. In episode 1, we talked about keto diet, ketosis. What does it mean? Intermittent fasting. Our forefathers used to do it. What does it mean? But now let's come down and talk about personalized plans, and calories, which this subject is triggering for you. You said that you don't like I think when we talked about episode 1, we talked about fad diets.
Yes.
And I think this is when you talk about calories, is now fad terms.
Yeah.
Terms that we're just using because you said that you can take 2,000 calories in a day,
yes,
but you wouldn't increase as much weight as somebody as the other person who is also taking 2,000. And by the way, let me tell you, there are people who eat.
Yes.
Na unashanga hii chakula inaendanga wapi? Jamaa anaweza kaa chini akule ugali na akule and swallows the entire soup and then they just there.
Well, I'll tell you what my teacher one day or my mentor told me. Time will catch up with them. Time always catches up with them.
Does it?
Yes. Look at it this way. Have you ever had, and especially for ladies, it's very common in ladies, where they say, I've been slim. I've been very, very slim. But now I'm struggling with weight. What really changes in between there?
Yeah.
What really changes? What really goes wrong somewhere in between there?
Without even going to ladies, you should talk about me, because when I was in primary, I was very skinny.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
We were one of the small kids, like utu tu vijana.
Tudogo.
Yeah. And then after school, after everything,
what happened?
I don't know.
Exactly. Everybody, for some reason, very few will sustain that weight. But remember, for every 8 people with cardiovascular or diabetes problem, they usually have one of them has diabetes with normal weight. So there is
diabetes with normal weight.
Yes, with a BMI of 18 to 24.
Wow.
Yes.
How does that happen?
It does happen because the way you want to look at it is just look at it from a simpler way. I don't want to go into lots of science.
Yes.
Sisi sote tuko na tank tofauti. Kuna ule mwenye tank yake itajaa akiwa hivi, na kuna ule mwenye atajaa akiwa overweight, kuna ule mwenye atajaa ikiwa obesity type 1, I mean level 2, level 1, level 2 or morbid obesity. So the fact that you are normal weight does not mean that you indulge in things that stimulate a lot of insulin and causes hyperinsulinemia and causes insulin resistance, because you can still get cardiovascular diseases like type 2 diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol issues. So it is not that they are off the hook. They will still need to look or personalize their diet or personalize their health, which is exactly what we are going to look at.
Yes. So you told me that there is a way you want to look at this episode.
Yes. The way I usually want to look at this is, first of all, as asking yourself, why do we eat? This is not a rhetorical question. Why do you eat?
I eat because I am feeling hungry. There's no any other reason why I eat. I just feel hungry.
Are you sure? Why are you taking this coffee?
This is not hunger. Yet.
So, but you are eating.
Cravings.
That's two.
Because I saw somebody else eating.
Exactly. So friendship at work,
Peer pressure. And sometimes I just feel like availability. Unapita tu na unaona kitu iko kwa meza.
Exactly.
Unasema hii ni umeko.
Exactly. So we eat for many different reasons. One of them is, of course, for energy and for the living. The cell need energy. That's the main reason why we should be eating, right? But then outside that, we also eat because of peer pressure.
Yeah.
We also eat because of stress or emotions around us. We also eat, like, for example, you can imagine people eat at funerals.
Yes.
People eat also at weddings.
Yeah.
Right? So we eat for many, many different reasons. That's number one thing that you want to look at. Okay? Before we go to personalization,
yeah,
you have to ask yourself, why are you eating? Number two, what influences what you eat? This is not a rhetorical question.
Budget.
Yes. Oh, big one.
Yeah, because sometimes I've just eaten bread because it's all I can afford, bro. But I don't want to eat it.
And when you are slim, as you said, ulikuwa unakula nini, mayai karanga na ugali?
Tulikuwa tunaishi pale nini? Pale Kawangware.
And that
10
was
by 10.
And that was the economy.
Yes.
Economy, mayai mbili, nyanya mbili.
Na ugali.
Yeah. That was what was available, right? What else influenced how you eat or influences how we eat?
But then again also if you look at the availability, I think you also do not just look the lack of, but you also having.
Of course.
Yeah.
The availability or the ability
to have. Yeah.
Right?
So you go to a restaurant.
Yes.
There is something that I saw that was very interesting. I saw this person ordered breakfast at Java Kisumu.
Yes.
And you know the way they bring the platter for breakfast. It's a lot.
Yeah, you know.
Yes, there is beans there. There are potatoes, potato
Yes,
chips that are cut into. Then there's a little bit of beans. Then you have the coffee on the side.
Yes.
And then sometimes they even give you juice on the side.
Yes.
For 910.
Yes.
But then the funny thing is that this person took the entire breakfast, but then ordered another milkshake.
Oh, wow.
And I felt like that is money talking.
Yes.
I can afford it and I will get it.
Exactly. And what do you think will happen to that individual in 3, 4, 5 years down the line?
I see trouble ahead.
Thank you. So that one,
You know?
so that has influenced how that guy is eating. The other thing that really influences us how we eat, you've just mentioned it off the camera, is advertising and marketing. Where right now there's a lot of email marketing. You woke up in the morning because you bought some food 2 years ago or 1 year ago or yesterday. These people begin marketing on you, right?
Yes.
They send you offers.
Yeah.
And then marketing is also when you're driving around, you're seeing these big billboards on food.
Yeah, Thailand.
Yes.
There is a very infamous one that that this chicken outlet, what is it called?
Which one?
It just sells a lot of chicken. What is it called? KFC.
Oh, KFC.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for me, I get a lot of advertisement from Uber Eats. They are always telling me that there is something for 30%.
Yes.
Then there is Bolt Food.
Yes.
Then there is Domino's.
Yes.
Debunking, Glovo.
Yes.
They are all sending me things to buy.
Exactly. So that, don't you think that might also have an influence on what you're going to eat?
It does, because if you get a text message at around 3 from Domino's, buy one get one free.
Yes.
saying this thing has been costing 1,000 to 500.
Exactly.
And now they're telling me that I should cough up 1,500, but they're gonna give me one for my daughter.
Exactly.
For free.
So you pass by
Yeah.
and
Oh,
buy.
and you don't even need to pass by these days.
Oh, yeah.
30 minutes. Well, they wanna kugongea mlango. And then they are telling you, by the way, this is really, really, really interesting. Domino's have got a policy that if they do not bring you that pizza in 30 minutes, they offer you a gift. And that gift is usually a pizza.
Are you serious?
Yes. They have
I
done
didn't
it to
know
me
that.
twice.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yes. In fact,
Interesting.
if you buy from Domino's and it comes at 35 minutes, call them. You have a pizza.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Wow. Wow, that one I didn't have a copy.
yes. So you can imagine that you can even get free food
Wow. Interesting.
because your food was late by
5
10 minutes or 5
10
minutes.
minutes. Yeah.
You get
okay.
another one.
Yes. The other thing that really influences how we eat is government policies.
Ebu hiyo sijui.
It's common. I'll give you a policy that is in effect right now.
Mm-hmm.
When the new government came into effect, what did they do with maize and what did they do with fertilizers?
I think at some point they were giving free fertilizer.
Yeah, or subsidized it.
Yes.
So what will happen in the next maybe 9 months or 1 year?
Abundance of food
Yeah,
at lower prices.
exactly. So that government policy will really influence on what you're going to eat. And that goes beyond because it will determine your imports. What are we importing? You add when there was war, importation of wheat products came down. So again, a government policy or war somewhere else can also determine what we are going to eat. Okay. Now, I don't want to touch that, but there are many other factors that play in effect on what we eat. But there is one that I want us to focus on, and that is research. The one thing that we tend to underestimate is how research shapes how we eat. And I'll give you one example. I don't know which year it was. I can't remember. This 2021 or 2022, where the largest amount of money used in research for that year was, I can't remember, was it 1 billion or 2 billion US dollars? Do you know who used it on research? A certain food company that makes crepes, to look at the taste of the crepe. Once you just take that crepe like this and you put it in your mouth, how do you react? How tasty? How does it feel like?
Yeah. I know that kind of, I think I've eaten that chips in the United States.
Yes.
It gives you a rush.
Yes, you feel feel nice, right? They spend a lot of money on research and food. But in that context, I want to take you back to 1970s. What happened? You see, in 1970s, there were some policies that were developed. And this is very important because this shaped the food industry in totality. What happened is the WHO, and in my book I've actually covered some of those things, came up with a way we are supposed to eat. They said you are supposed to divide your plate in like this, and then halfway vegetables, a quarter carbohydrates, and another one proteins. They said that at the time, research showed that is a balanced food something. Then they went ahead and gave us a food pyramid. And they said the food pyramid looks like this. Down there is where you eat more. And down there was the foods that spike our sugars. Those ones were the carbs. And then the next were, I can't remember, was it the meat? And then I've actually covered here. It's very well covered here. I can show you what this is in page 23.
Page 23.
Yes. There's a plate there where they're saying eat most starch, then eat more vegetables, then moderately proteins, and then eat less. That is fats, oil, nuts, and seeds. Then they gave us that plate there. Now, subsequent people or research as measured on that plate. And if I wanted to make some food item, for example, I want to make yogurt. Because of this, and it says eat less fat because fat is on top here, what am I supposed if I'm a manufacturer and I want to make yogurt, I will label that yogurt low fat what? Yogurt, because that is what the guidelines say. So that is what we've been told. But the question is, when we go back, what scientific evidence was there to prove this plate or the food pyramid? And the answer is we get less and less information regarding what actually informed that. And that's why, based on those guidelines, from 1970s to 1980s, after those guidelines, obesity and diabetes and cardiovascular diseases are skyrocketing. And yet, we are eating what is recommended. So what is the problem? The last 10, 15 years, we've discovered, by the way, there was no evidence. Now let's put real evidence on the table. When we said, let's not eat fat, what did that mean? When we said, let's eat a quarter of plate with some carbs, what did that mean? When we said you need carbohydrates, you needed this to eat. Carbohydrates are the energy sources of foods. What did that mean in terms of research? That meant that any food industry will revolve. Because if you wanted to make any food, you will revolve according to what the research said. And therefore, you will find food products on your shelves written low carb, low fat foods,
skimmed milk.
Skimmed milk, and all these things are all there waiting for you. And that was influenced by research then. But slowly and slowly we are discovering we did not gain weight because of low fat. Because when you remove fat from food, what are you likely to do to make it sweet?
Put sugar.
Put sugar. And that's why you get low fat, yet very high sugar in the yogurt.
Okay.
And as an example. All right? Now, this yogurt has low fat, but a lot of sugar. When you eat it, it spikes your insulin and you gain weight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It does make sense. That is exactly what the food industry has been up to. That's why we are seeing obesity, pandemic, and all these things that are happening. But with current research,
it is also very strange that when you go to places like America and Europe, there's a lot of sugar on foods. Like, for example, it's very difficult to eat pastries. I found it very difficult to eat pastries. Like, what is it called? Donut. It is very difficult to eat a donut in the United States.
Yes.
Or in Europe.
Yes.
Because you literally see sugar.
Yes. A lot of it. Unaweka kwa mdomo ina...
Yeah, you crunch it and it like it, jamaa mwenye tulitembea na alisema ni tamu sana. Too sweet. You know, it is too tamu that it's no longer enjoyable.
Exactly. So that type of research has driven us there. But now with the current research, I tell you, go to page 36.
Page 36. Page 36, yes. I see a pyramid scheme.
That is a pyramid scheme. That is a pyramid that is inverted. Wachana na mambo ya scheme.
I'm only joking. An inverted pyramid.
Yes.
Pyramid scheme.
That is inverted.
Yes, a pyramid that is inverted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what does it show?
So it shows that it shows vegetables on there.
Top.
Yeah. So I see avocado.
Yes.
I see the coconut.
Yes.
I see butter.
Yes.
I see water.
Yes.
I see onions. Mrenda iko hapo. Naona hitu tu vitu.
And then next.
Hapo sasa naona
Nyama.
manyama.
Yes.
Yes, I see a lot of fish.
Yes, mutura.
Mutura iko. By the way, we need a place where we can make mutura the correct way.
I know, right?
Why does it have to be by the roadside?
That's a good question.
Why is mutura has to be on the roadside? Because
That's
I
what
really
makes
loved
it
it.
sweet.
There is a the vumbi.
That kupiga your thing with the way they piga it with that kimkebe.
But you see, that is where also Kenya bus in a omoka na vumbi.
That is true.
You know. Anyway, we were on the pyramid.
Yes, inverted pyramid. Yes.
And then now after that, we have the ugali, we have the chipo, we have the chapati, we have the cakes,
yes,
and all those other things.
And that is the list now. So we have inverted the what? The pyramid. That is what we need to do. And this is why I was telling you, was my main point. We are influenced by research. This is now backed with a lot of scientific clinical trials showing that we need to invert the pyramid. Now, based on that now, I want to go and answer your question. How do you personalize diet?
Yeah.
And even before I go there, remember the other things that really come in handy. Big time. You come from Nyakachi. Ulisema Nyakachi ama ulisema?
Yeah, where Omiria's pissed on the land.
Yeah. What do you eat the most there? Fish or something?
Yes. When you talk about proteins, yes, it would be fish, it would be fulufulu.
Yeah, fulufulu is what?
Fulufulu is the big omenas. Fulufulu is the big omenas. It's like tilapia, but it's a very small version of tilapia.
Really?
Yeah, it's a small one. It looks like tilapia, but it's very small.
Oh, I didn't know about it.
Yeah,
okay.
It's almost 3 times the size of omena.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fulufulu.
Okay. And then there's omena.
And then there is omena.
Yes.
And then, of course, there is tilapia. There is the Nile perch.
Oh, wow.
We have got very good proteins there.
Exactly.
Then we have mudfish, which is called mumi, and then we have catfish, which is called kamongo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the same thing that a costarian will do? Most likely not.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the same thing that a central person will do? A Kikuyu will do?
What wagideri?
Yes. So we are influenced by a lot of culture.
Yes.
A lot of work culture in us. What my organization does is not what you guys here do in terms of eating. So again, we have to put that into perspective. So now you can already see there is an individual here who is in the middle of maybe like Victoria, who is really being influenced by a lot of things on how they are supposed to personalize their diet or how they eat. And this is where now I go back to what I was telling you. How you eat is now influenced by these things.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So now you have to now ask yourself, Dr. Daniel Katambo, what do I want as personalized diet? First of all, I'm looking at, do I want muscles?
Yes.
Myself, I'm here, sitaki muscle, hiyo ni yako. Okay. Yeah. Do I want muscle? If the answer is yes, then I will lean more towards the proteins.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to the gym. All right? And then I will eat a lot of fulufulu. And then you understand?
Yeah.
And then I will hit the gym daily. Get that muscle. That is my personalized what? Diet. And I have to keep to that. Otherwise, the day I will relax to eat, I will not then get personalized. I will now be influenced by something else. And if I relax and I go back to what somebody else is doing, like now, take another myself who decided, no, I don't want to gain muscle. I actually want to gain weight. If I wanted to gain weight, because right now my BMI is 18, I want to bring it to 23. It's a very good example because somebody always asks me, what do I do for me to gain weight? First of all, what are the things that make you gain weight? Things like natural. This is where I wanted to say critically important. even if you want to gain weight the right way, and you want to use some foods to gain weight, please use as much as natural food as possible. So you're better off taking that ndoma as opposed to somebody who is taking chips from KFC or taking chips from McDonald's or taking Ulita Dominion. Those pizzas. Domino's. Those
they have vegetable pizza, by the way.
Vegetable pizza. And what connects them?
Yeah?
What really... Those vegetable pizzas, what makes them?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean what makes them?
Yeah. What is the content?
They have a few pineapples, but most of it is cheese.
Thank you.
Most of it is cheese and the baseline.
And the baseline is?
Ngano kocho kocho.
That is exactly what I wanted to tell you. The fact that it is called pineapple pizza, imewekwa tu pineapple.
Nika drop. They have sprinkle.
Exactly. So this is my point was, if you want to gain weight, don't gain weight with those, because those processed stuff spike your insulin immensely.
Yeah.
And that can make you gain weight rapidly. And that is exactly why we are seeing, even for our kids, they're gaining a lot of weight because of processed foods.
I think you should also explain the danger of a spiked insulin and how it leads to into lifestyle diseases.
A lot.
Yeah.
Sijui tuweke ikuwe episode.
Yes.
Because that is a lot of... The insulin is the hormone. Once you spike it and you have hyperinsulinemia, it even now leads to, at the age of 60, 70, it's converting into dementia, Alzheimer's disease. You start getting neuropathies. You start getting chronic inflammatory conditions. You start taking mental health diseases. That's why even somebody with mental health, with reduction in the amount of sugar they are taking, we are seeing an improvement.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of improvement. Kwanza, there is a lot of research right now, as we speak, that is going on to how much reduction of carbohydrates and sugar is giving somebody with bipolar disease settlement and feeling much better and much calmer than any drug that you can ever see. So there's a lot of research that is going on.
Easy disease ya wazee inatoka tu hapa kwa sukari.
Yes, some of them, yes.
Most of them.
Yes.
Si umesema hizo vitu zote nimesikia zimetoka tu kwa sukari.
Yo.
Inflammatory diseases.
Yeah, exactly.
Gout. Arthritis. By the way, what is it between gout and arthritis? I saw a movie the other day. It was so
Gout
fun.
arthritis.
When people are... I mean,
arthritis.
Hollywood should stop making fun of these diseases.
No, we are not making fun.
There's an episode in it's called Ted. The series is called Ted.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's a very funny episode where the guy is coming into the house. He's so pissed off, and the wife is asking him, why are you so pissed off? It's my gout. He's limping. And then he goes out to the stairs and he's cussing under his breath, the fucking sugars. The wife is telling you, we have got a a birthday celebration, and he's cussing. I told you sugars. It's my gout. So anyway,
Exactly.
you're explaining something. Go ahead.
That is very important.
You know, one of the things I fear so much, Daktari, is that a time is going to come when I'm not going to be able to walk because I'm having arthritis and gout. And I'm like, how can I make sure that I do not have arthritis and gout? So that the other day, I was talking to a friend of mine. His name is David Aswani, na alikuwa ananiambia ati jamaa rafiki yetu iliangwa maji yako. Jamaa yake amepanda has done a one-story building at home.
Yes.
And he was making fun of him.
Yeah.
That he better have one bed downstairs because a time is coming when he's not going to enjoy his bedroom upstairs. He will not have the legs to go up there. Yeah. So one of the things that we should do is that we should be able to go up the stairs when we are 70.
I agree.
Now, I hope that you're enjoying this program. Over the last 15 years, I have been working online for clients in America, in Europe, and all over the world. And that is why it pains me a lot when I see a lot of African brothers and sisters saying that they do not have a job. Now, this is the problem. A lot of people are trying to look for a job in 2024 in their own town, in their own country, in their local area. Now, the truth is there are no jobs in Africa, at least not so many jobs. The good news is that we have internet these days. We have a tablet, we have a computer, we have a phone, and that means that we can do a lot of jobs. And those jobs are online. That is why over the last 4 years, I've been writing a book that is called Digital Goldmine. It is a book that explains to you how you can earn money online. The 18 hustles that I've chosen are basically for Africans. Okay? Because what happens when you are doing online jobs is that payment is usually a problem. So these 18 side hustles that I have put together in this book, you can be paid very well and very conveniently. Okay, so the book is only 1,000 Kenya shillings. That is about $10. You can buy it in Kenya using paybill number. You can buy it online from anywhere in the world using a credit or a debit card. All the information about this book is in the description below. Just need to go to the description, click on the link, and you can buy this book. And if you have a brother, you have a wife, you have a husband, you have a friend who is sitting at home and watching Netflix, please do buy this book for them. If you are the one sitting at home and watching Netflix and have nothing to do, please buy this book and your life is gonna change forever. Because I have been doing this online and I've been traveling and I've been enjoying myself and having a lot of fun. So thank you very much. And now back to program.
That is rheumatoid arthritis, chronic inflammatory diseases. They are really promoted by hyperinsulinemia.
Okay.
And that is
insulin?
Hyper. A lot of insulin.
Yeah.
And
but
that
there is the word you're using,
hyperinsulinemia.
Insulinemia. What does that mean?
A lot of insulin. That's why I told you I don't want to use. I don't want to go into lots of science. I try and be as basic as I can.
Yeah.
So that is really important. So that we watch on those researched methods.
Yeah.
We watch on what we really need to eat and what you need to personalize.
Yeah.
See, an individual like, I'll even use that example.
Yeah.
An individual like that, how do we personalize his diet now?
The guy at 70.
The guy with it's my gout. You see,
the one cussing while going up.
We have to call him and ask him, why is your gout flaring?
Yeah.
Is it alcohol? Cut down on alcohol. And probably the time what I see the most is actually when you cut down on your alcohol, gout improves. Many people blame meat. And yet once you reduce their carbohydrate and sugar intake...
But then perhaps you could explain why it is the alcohol that is the biggest culprit more than the meat.
Yes, because of the elimination process.
Okay, explain.
Okay, so when you take alcohol, the body stops whatever, and I want to use this with a lot of caution because this is very simple thinking.
Yes.
If I go into the science,
the
body will stop anything it's doing to eliminate alcohol.
Really?
Yes. Alcohol is a toxin. By all means, the body perceives alcohol as a toxin.
As poison?
Yes.
In another language?
In another language. So it will have to stop and use a lot of energy actually to eliminate it. And that's why when you take a lot of alcohol, the next day, you take sugar to feel better.
Why?
Because you've used a lot of energy. So when you now want the energy, you look for quick energy, which you get from sodas, you get from juices, you get from... Even when you come to the hospital and you have alcohol intoxication, how we resuscitate you is by giving you dextrose.
What is that?
Dextrose is sugar.
Oh, really?
Yes, we put dextrose here. Yeah, because
We pump sugar into your system.
Yes, we are, and you actually come. Yeah, you regain consciousness because you ulipikiwa kwa mtaro.
Yes.
Yes, when you come, what we do is give you alcohol. That's the resuscitation method.
Yeah.
When you come, amepatikana wapi kwa mtaro, hata hatujui nini, ana smell alcohol, mpe tu dextrose or sugar. Utaona tu within 15-10 minutes jamaa anaanza kusema kunaendeleaje. It's true.
Niko wapi? Niambieni niko wapi? Yes. Wapi simu yangu?
Yes, wapi simu yangu? That's when they start remembering. So the body stops everything it's doing to eliminate. And this competing factor lets your uric acid accumulates. So when you stop alcohol, the body now has normal metabolism. It eliminates everything properly and your uric acid goes down.
Oh, I see.
You understand? So that is how it works.
How about social drinking? Is social drinking also that bad?
No, it's not bad.
For example, somebody who takes one beer maybe 2 beers in a week.
That's recommended. Even I don't want to quote the Bible wrongly, but it is said somewhere. Yeah, it is said somewhere.
Take a little bit for your stomach.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The problem with the alcohol is not the taking the alcohol; it's the amount. Just take. A lady is supposed to take 1 to 2 units. A gentleman or a man is supposed to take 2 to 3 units.
What is a unit?
Yes, that is very important.
Yeah.
A unit is 1 glass of 30 mils of wine. 30 mils. Something just less a bit like this. Kidogo. I don't know. Yeah, there are definitions for a unit.
For
1 beer is like 1 unit. 1 beer, approximately 300 to 350 is 1 unit. So you can see if you're taking Tusker Lager and you are supposed to take 3 units, then you need 1 or 2, ukienda sana 3 beers.
In a sitting.
Enda nyumbani. And then if it's tots or something, you take 2 to 3 double shots. But that 3 sounds a lot because zio imeenda sana because you need utoto dogo. Wine, take 1 or 2 glasses of wine for a lady, and for a man 2 to 3 glasses of wine. That is just on a general look, but you just need to, if you look at the guidelines, that's what they say. A lady 1 to 2 units, a man 2 to 3.
But this
units.
In one sitting.
Yeah, in one.
And then
sitting.
how do you space it within the month?
You can take that is daily.
That is daily.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The problem
you
with
still
us,
levy?
The problem with us with alcohol is you had better take one you had better take 1 beer or 2 beers in a day rather than sit on a Friday and take 8.
Oh, I see.
You understand?
Unakaa kwa bar mpaka asubuhi.
The problem is how you take the alcohol.
You see that is very interesting because when I watch at movies, when the guy comes back from work, anachukua kachupa chap anakaa nayo chini.
Yes. And the Europeans and the Western world are very good at taking 1 or 2 beers and then they go home. But here...
And I have seen it. Like for example, in Barcelona, they don't even have bars like you go inside.
Ah, really?
They have the bars by the road so that you just tell them, give me, and then they just sit on the pavement and they just take 2 and they're gone.
Yes.
By 11, there is nobody there.
There's nobody there.
Lakini huku kwetu bwana quiver zinaquiver mpaka surely.
Hiyo ndo shida. That is what will lead to uric acid accumulation, surely. And when you come now for personalization, remember our topic is personalization.
Yes.
I have to personalize your life according to where it is. Then now personalization, now I have to now look at deeply. What are you looking at? Many people come to my clinic or any other medical doctor for weight loss, diabetes, hypertension. When you're looking at all this now, you want to personalize. I'm looking at you. We're coming from Kisumu. You eat ugali. You eat rice. You eat a fulufulu, tilapia. You eat all these things.
Yeah.
Now, I can't tell you to start eating tuna fish.
Yes.
Tuna fish is not available in Kisumu. I have to personalize according to what is available to you. You understand? And that's why now I have to come to this. Okay, before I mention that, when I go to a person in Maasai,
Yes.
all right, a typical Maasai, how do they eat?
Nyama.
Ng'ombe, mbuzi, maziwa,
Yes.
damu.
Yes.
You know, when they come to me and I want to personalize, first of all, I'll ask them, what is your target? What do you want to achieve? You're already slim. You do not have any diseases. You're okay. So I'm personalizing for them. Their BMI is normal. So for them, I'm likely to tell them, continue with what you are doing.
Yeah.
You understand? Then I go to somebody else in Coast. What do they eat? Spaghetti, pizza, rice, mahamri, mandazi, all these things.
By the way, there is a lot of calorie intake in the coastal region.
And now there is a lot of obesity, overweight, diabetes, and type 2 diabetes. When you say there is a lot of those things, you have to understand that there is also a lot of the disease there.
Really?
Yes. Yes, a lot. So that goes by what you consume. And that's why I mentioned the Maasais. The typical Maasai, they are slim, they eat their meat, they drink their blood, they drink their milk, they take some vegetables, and they walk. And they tend to be less disease like type 2 diabetes or obese. A typical Coastarian will be on the opposite direction. Does that make sense?
It does make
this
sense.
Personalization, that's why I was telling you, when it comes to treatment and giving nutrition advice, it has to be personalized.
I was watching TV the other day. I'm not watching TV. I was talking to a friend of mine, a nutritionist.
Yes.
Nikamwambia bwana, I've been on this journey of reducing weight and these vegetables are too expensive.
Yes.
Kaniambia shida yako Jagero ni kuangalia TV.
I agree.
Alafu unaona hawa jamaa wana sijui eggplant, sijui nini.
I agree.
Sijui nini.
Yes.
Alafu wewe unataka kwenda chini kununua hizo vitu. You'll go broke.
Yes. And where are you buying it?
Zuchini.
Yes.
That place is for wazungus and doctors like Katambo. I can't sustain it, bro. You go there na kaelufu 5 bwana inaisha na nika basket kadogo. You're wondering, this is for kina Raila. This.
That's my point. But when you go back to that Mama Mboga and the original African...
Aliniambia we enda Kawangware. Hakuna chenye unafanya junction. Nimekushinda.
Yes. Thank you.
Go buy mrenda.
Africans are lucky. We are so lucky.
Also.
We have mrenda. We have kunde. We have kazera. We have hii yenye huwa inanyunyuka hivi inaitwa nini?
I don't like it. A poth.
Yes.
We call it a poth in my language.
So I will not personalize it for you. I will You understand?
By the way, do you understand how they are different? Because for us, sometimes we just feel like all these kienyeji mbogas are the same. They have the same kind of...
I never used to understand the heaviness of how different they are until I wrote this book.
How different are they? And then I want to ask you, because I forgot about this in episode 1.
Yes.
I want to ask you about meat specifically, because there are so many myths about meat.
Yes.
Gout, sijui nini, sijui dead flesh, sijui inabaki kwa sijui colon, inabaki sijui wapi, it makes your stomach smell, vitu mingi. But anyway, let's go to, what is it called? Let's go to this Miranda thing and tell us how different are they?
In terms of difference, in terms of what nutrients they have, that is exactly the difference. It's not in terms of they will spike your sugars, they will make you gain weight. It's all in the context. For example, if you look at skuma, it will give you more minerals in terms of which minerals you look, or vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D, or vitamin something. And when you look at kazera, it might have more and more of vitamin D or vitamin B1 or vitamin B2. That I came to understand more in deep details when I was writing the book. But you see, the objective of writing the book was to show that all vegetables are actually good for you when it comes to healthy eating. When you prescribe them, then you tend to have better healthy outcome than when I'm prescribing rice or prescribing ugali. I hope that makes sense. And there are many Africans. We are just blessed. When I was doing this book, I went to City Market. And now I was looking for vegetable. I learned. I actually stopped and I said, you can actually eat a different vegetable every day for 30 days. But most of us know 3. Sukuma wiki, cabbage, na spinach. Kwisha.
By the way, the cabbage, what is in cabbage?
Cabbage is a vegetable, lots of fiber. And some. Now, cabbage tends to have a little bit of some starch. About 5 to 10% of it is sugar. But when you look at something like spinach, about 1 to 2% of it is sugar. But you cannot compare that with a banana, which is 95% sugar and only 5% fiber or minerals or potassium. So all this, I don't want us to divert from
personalization.
But
I want us to talk about meat, the myths around meat.
Yes. Now, meat has never been the problem until we have now researched it and seen we actually have a scientific way in which we can prescribe it.
Yeah.
For example, meat will not spike your sugars. Fried or stewed meat will have 300 grams, will have maybe at most 3 to 4 teaspoons of sugar, right?
40.
4. 3 to 4.
Yes.
3 to 4 only.
Unapea heart attack hapo
No.
bwana.
Usishiko attack. 3 to 4 at most, right? However, if you look at something like rice, 300 grams will have about 20 to 30 teaspoons of sugar. Now, with that in mind, give me the myth that when you eat meat, it will take long to digest. Am I not looking for you to not eat soon so that I don't give you food frequently?
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for, if it's a treatment form I'm looking for, right? But somebody comes up and says, when you eat meat, inakaa kwa tumbo sana aisiagiki.
Yes.
You see, that is a total myth. In fact, I want to give you something so that when you eat, you feel fuller for long.
Yes.
So that you don't keep eating and snacking, which was our next topic. You don't need to keep snacking in between meals. I want to give you 2 eggs in the morning with vegetables and probably some olive oil on top so that you don't snack and you feel fuller for long. At Imara, you need detoxification from meat.
Yes, they say that.
Now, we just said these are saying and they are myth. And I also see them like you. Who said we need to detoxify from anything? And I see these people who go and they have colon cleansing.
Colon irrigation. That's what it's called. Nilikuwa nataka inaitwa colon irrigation. It's 10,000. Text 30
What
minutes.
are you? Really?
Yeah.
The only time you're supposed to clean your colon, according to my small science, is when you're going to do a colonoscopy. And this
What is a colonoscopy?
Colonoscopy is when you're screening for cancer of the colon. We want to put a camera in you so that we are seeing a clean colon and you're able to see on a screen. And we diagnose you whether you have polyps and cancer.
How long am I supposed to go?
That one, when you go to the now a gastroenterologist, you are given something that you take within the day before. You start the day either 48 hours or 24 hours before. They give you something, laxatives you measure. They give you a liquid that you take. And by the time you go to the doctor, everything has been washed out. And the reason why we are doing that is because we want an empty intestine. We need empty intestines.
To see.
The colon. To see. Not to detoxify you. So this is another myth. I don't know whether there is another myth about the meat. But there are many.
When they say they're irrigating the colon, what are they actually doing?
That is what I want to ask you, because I also read like you. What are they irrigating from?
Neukora.
Of course. What are you irrigating from? And if you're irrigating, give me the science. I will accept it. I'm not debunking anything. Just give me science. Why are you saying you are cleansing or you are irrigating the colon? From what? Yeah.
Manyama zimebaki hapo.
Where? Meaning you're not digesting? Think about it.
It's very, very interesting.
Exactly. Ati ulikula nyama imebaki wapi? Ati there is another myth. What is constipation? Constipation has its definitions. I find patients who come to me, ati nimekuwa nikienda choo every 2 days. Now they are saying they are constipated because they know you are supposed to go to the toilet once a day. And I'm like, when did this become constipation? Constipation can be defined in 2 forms. One, having very hard stools, like yambuzi. That is constipation.
Mbuzi is not constipated.
It is. That is what I'm saying. By definition, that is when the stool is very hard. And you will find you're not taking enough water probably, or there is another underlying condition. We need to find out, is it medication you're taking? Is it another, you're not taking enough water? Or what could be the underlying problem behind your constipation? We need to investigate it. Now, missing to go to the toilet a long call 1 or 2 days does not mean constipation. But many, many people have myth that when I eat meat, I will get constipated and I will not visit.
They are saying on TikTok that you must poo every day.
No.
They are saying on TikTok, you have not been to TikTok?
I know.
You must poo every day. Yeah. If you don't poo every day, then there is a problem. They are going to treat you. They are going to sell you some herbs.
There are standards onto which definition for constipation is well defined. And there's science behind it. You see, the good thing is I tell people I'm not a quack. I use science. There has to be science behind the reasoning of what you're telling me. Somebody tells me I have lost weight because of taking mapera or taking mapera leaves. Leaves is a mapera. Matawi ya mapera.
Hawajaleta jina ya hiyo ya matawi.
Sijui inaitwa nini. But let me ask you, why are you losing weight? Because you're taking vegetables. Matawi ya mapera ni nini?
The vegetables.
Thank you. So the science can explain. The question is mapera good for you? I don't know, because I don't know whether you came in taking mapera. Now, I don't know whether mapera is good for you because there is no science for mapera leaves being eaten by human beings. So if it's proved that it's okay, it's non-toxic and it's good, then we will put it under the category of vegetables. Yes, and you will lose weight.
So I think that as we're coming close to the end of this episode 2, I think the question is, a lot of people will be asking, Daktari, hizo umesema ni sawa, lakini give me something. For example, on a day, if you pick a day, what should I eat? Because that is actually the backbone of your book.
Yes.
I think now people are talking about, the question is things that are not helping me with my weight.
So when you say I pick a typical day,
yes.
I'm assuming you're telling me I pick a typical day. What do I want to do? Lose weight. Do you understand my?
Yes. because today in the world, most people are struggling with weight, losing weight.
Yes.
Very few people like Dr. Katambo want to add weight. You see, so our biggest problem, and the people that we want to help a lot in this episode, I think adding weight should be easier than reducing weight. Do we agree?
The people you want to weight, adding weight will be very easy. Actually, we have added weight.
Yes.
A majority of our population has actually added weight.
Yeah.
And we want to advise them to actually lower their weight.
Yeah. So I think on a typical day, you said that it has to be personalized, which is making sense. But then, generally, how do you want to eat on a day-to-day basis so that you keep your levels low?
Yes.
What are some of the foods that you want to avoid or take minimally as possible?
Number one, the advice to that question is very simple. Science comes into play. We are now really being advised more and more in research that has come out in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
If you really want to lose weight, number one, we now are very clear on what foods are causing us to gain weight. And those are the ultra-processed foods. So if I were the one who wants to lose weight right now, I would probably put next to zero ultra-processed foods.
Now you must give it meaning.
Yes.
Because, for example, I'm a pedestrian like me. What is an ultra processed, and how do I know? Do you know why I'm asking that?
Yes.
The other day, Mr. Matheka, who is a psychologist and a sexologist and a wellness coach, I only knew 1 month ago that sausage is not 100% meat. I just knew yesterday that sausage sold in Kenya is actually 40% meat.
Yes.
And the rest of them is fillers and fiber.
And I agree with you, especially the one sold where? In Kenya. They are adding more. Unaona hiyo kitu ya white, the white stuff there is actually unga and less meat.
Unga.
Yes.
Carbohydrate.
Yes. And then they put in some bits of meat. So the best sausage is actually mutura. Na ile mutura yenye unajua imetengenezwa aje.
Mutura iko na siasa mingi, brother.
I know. It just depends on what it is. Unaona ile mutura yenye tumesema yenye wewe mwenyewe unajitengenezea, umeua mbuzi nyumbani.
Yes.
Unachukua hizo intestine, unaweka nyama, una grind hiyo minced meat na unaweka na unaiboil. That's the best I always advise. Otherwise, anything processed.
We were talking about ultra processed.
And that is exactly what now I'm talking about. These nyama bites, those processed sausages, those processed pastas, those processed, there's so many things, spaghettis, those processed,
Indomil.
Yes. Indomil hizo. Sijui na zingine ni, I'm trying to remember another one imenipotea kwa kichwa. That's very common with kids. They are taking it. That ultra processed food spikes your sugars. And it's making our kids gain weight and even adults. So let's stay away from those ones. 2, if you want to lose weight again, go further. Take a step further and ask, what is spiking my sugar despite me having stopped the ultra-processed foods? And those are the carbohydrates. Now, the carbohydrates, you want to look at them for the sake of this discussion, not according to science. For the sake of this discussion, carbohydrates, I tend to divide them into 3. That's the sugars themselves. Hizi ni vitu kama fresh juices. Unaelewa? Sukari itself. Apple. That is where you're talking about. Sawa. And then number 2, fruits. You really need to be very careful with fruits. And especially fruits give you something called fructose. We really need to reduce the amount of fruits that we are taking. And then 3, starch, which is a complex carbohydrates. Those ones, if you really are aiming to lose weight, you need to lower them. When you do that, you lower the insulin. When you lower the insulin, the body gets time to digest the fat. Remember, weight, the gate for you to losing weight is opened and closed by insulin.
We'll explain in Kiswahili, in English. Sababu hiyo sasa ni lugha ya madaktari.
As long as your insulin is high, you will never lose weight.
Why?
Because insulin is an hormone that is making you gain weight. It is preventing you, it is making you gain. Sukari imekuja iweke.
Oh, iweke.
Yes, iweke.
Hapana tumia.
Usitumie. Na inakaa hapo.
Oh, I see.
So
the body does not go back to the fat in stock.
No. Inangoja ulete, inaweka. Inangoja ulete. So a good example is when you put food in a deep freezer. Na hii yenye iko hapa chini.
Yes.
Utaendea yenye iko kwa deep freezer. Hana?
Hii moto.
Hii yenye ni moto ama yenye ni fresh yenye iko hapa chini. Si ndio? So that is what insulin does. Unless it comes down, that is what we are able to melt what is up here. That's
so when it goes down, the body goes looking for things, the stock, the deep freezer.
Exactly.
The body goes to the deep freezer. Chukua hiyo nyama yenye imekuwa frozen hapo.
And that is the ultimate trick towards weight loss. You have to keep that down. You have to keep insulin down. And of course, other factors now. Because
And what is keeping insulin down?
sugar.
Eh? Kuna sukari there is a pot. There is a bowl of fruit that they sell at Java.
Hey.
It's very much well known for people who are reducing weight. Inakujanga na a lot of fruits, alafu wanamwaga yogurt juu, alafu wana sprinkle to honey.
I know it.
I think that thing has about 100 teaspoons. You know it.
And it's there.
You know it.
Yes. And it's labeled for weight loss.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
It is labeled for weight loss.
Yes. That just makes you nicely gain the weight. And therefore, now, coming back to your question, this is now what you want to put in mind when you want to lose weight. So anything that is spiking your insulin needs to go down. And that is usually the carbohydrate. And I've defined by the 3. So keep those one down. Now, when you look at the things that don't spike your insulin the most are the vegetables. And that's why I measured on the different types of vegetables in Africa.
And they can be very difficult to eat, those vegetables.
Because we never make them palatable. We never make our vegetables palatable. And they're always the last thing to be cooked. There is no thinking of how to make them sweet. It is always one way of how to cook vegetables.
Weka kanyanya kidogo, a little bit
and
of
give
oil.
them tender loving care when you are cooking them. Kata nyanya vizuri, kata kitunguu vizuri, kata garlic vizuri, weka ngojea kachemuke vizuri, and then wekelea your cabbage juu ama wekelea your spinach juu, kapike under light moto kidogo, kapike kanyoroshe kidogo, usipike sana, tengua. Hata wewe mwenyewe utataka kukula sahani ya pili. Lakini ukienda unaweka moto kubwa, unatoa, unakula hivi hata utake kukula 2 pieces. So we need to focus more on making vegetables. Why are you laughing?
Make vegetables great again.
Yes. We need to make vegetables great again. Do you know? Actually, you are laughing, but it's. I really hope our families could embrace vegetables. Do you know? Like right now, me and you, if we are not careful, we will lose that cultural African way. Our kids do not know more than 10 different types of vegetables. Kienyeji. And I'm worried because we might lose that. We might lose, if you go to any home, go to Lavington home. Wachana na ya Kawangware, wanaweza kujua. Waulize kunde ni nini? Kunde tu.
Wajui.
Waulize mrenda ni nini? Waulize kazera ni nini? So now that family is becoming diabetic at 20, 21, 24.
Really?
Yes. And then they come to the
24.
office. Yes. And then now I tell them, go and eat mrenda. They have never eaten it. They don't know what it is. So we need to nurture the African food. Oh, yeah, you know what I mean. If you've been to the US, you look for it and you don't see it. Vegetables.
It is called fine dining.
Do you?
If you want to eat organic in the US, it's called fine dining. Like ukae kwa table in the US na wakulete ugali hapa kidogo, wakulete nyama hapa kidogo, wakulete skuma hapa kidogo. That is fine dining.
Can we make this fine dining in an African way?
Yeah.
And then we go now to the kamit. This kamit has been demonized for a very long time. Meat is not the big problem. Unless there is a medical issue. Because we have conditions that we can, God forbid we don't have. But meat is never the problem. I see people telling me, mimi niliacha kula nyama venye niliambiwa ni mbaya. Na muuliza uliambiwa mbaya wapi? Ati niliambiwa ni kulange pieces 2, 3. Kwa nini? Kwa nini pieces 2, 3? Even according to science, we need about 2 grams of proteins per kg per day. Then unakula 2 to 3 pieces. Why? And the science does not say so. So let's measure on this. Now, and then measure on healthy fats. And today I want to say what are healthy fats. Avocados are very good. Very good. 1 avocado a day will keep the doctor away. Not 1 apple a day. Two, healthy fats. Kale kakuku na kangozi yake. Unaona kale kenye kamepikwa. Kale ka home. Unaonanga venye inatoka na hiyo supu yake hiyo, Chukua hiyo supu tu kunywa tu kama umekiti tu vizuri. Very nice for you. That kafat kachote na hiyo ndio unatengenezea mboga. Very nice. Chota hiyo nyama, soup juu, tengenezea nini? Vitu zingine. Pikia mayai. Tengeneza hako ka fried egg using it. And therefore, this forms the basis of your understanding in terms of weight loss. Of course, there are many other factors you're going to consider when it comes to personalization and what you eat in a day.
Amazing. Coming to an end of episode 2. Losing weight the teaspoon way. I love it. Like I said, dialogues with Jagero, I learn a lot. Some people think that I'm just here laughing. But I'm learning a lot. And some of these things, some of these guests, I bring them because I have problems myself. And at the end of the day, I realize that my problem are my people's problems. So we learn together, we laugh together. There is something that really gives me a lot of joy are the comments. Like specifically your episode has a lot of real, authentic comments about how much they have gotten help by just listening to you.
Thank you.
And I'm hoping that they are buying they are buying your book.
Yes.
Dr. Daniel Katambo, of course, you didn't say who you are in this episode. You were assuming that people have watched
Yes.
the standalone episode that we did. But this book is an amazing thing. It contains 750 pictures of locally available food suitable for weight loss, food portion control, diabetes and blood pressure management, carbohydrate counting, type 2 diabetes remission and reversal, personalized healthy eating lifestyle. So at Dialogues with Jagero, one of the things that I do is that people come, they give their knowledge, but in reciprocating, I tell you guys to buy their book and support the good work that they do. So Dr. Katambo has got a book called Kitabu Cha Sukari, and the reason why it's called Kitabu Cha Sukari is the book of sugar, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Basically, the book of sugar. If you are struggling with sugar intake, this book is a book for you. Apart from that, he's also doing consultancy.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And one of the beautiful things that you do is helping people with diabetes reverse their condition. Okay? So in the description, we will leave his website. From his website, you will get his contact. He's also having an app coming, a subscription kind of app that is going to be, groundbreaking.
Amazing, groundbreaking app. Yes.
So check on the description and get his book. Until episode 3, which is coming.
Yes.
Bye for now. And then